Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is another MML production. Challenge League playoffs, people. Big deal here. This is the playoffs in the West for the Challenge League. This is the both teams here coming out of the play pool of the Disputed Land Conference, the DLC, and the Fun Conference, the Fumble Underground Nation. My name is Sirius, Jest, my co-host, and first-time announcer in the MML, stepping up to do it big time here in the semifinals for the Challenge League, RandTheMad. Hello, Rand. What's going on?
Hello. Not much. Pretty excited for this game.
As I understand it, you were in this play pool with both of these competitors.
I was.
Any inside information you could give us on these guys? Anything to look out for? Impressions? What do you think?
Well, the impression I have is that Bernie doesn't play his rats like rats. He plays them very much like orcs or dwarves. He's very aggressive and he likes to base a lot, so I think it'll be a very interesting game, to say the least. And Midway is a very good coach with a very, very good team, so it's going to be a tough match for his rats, for Bernie's rats.
And Midway is actually former Season 4 Challenge League champion. So
yes.
Yeah, he's got his work. Bernie's got his work cut out for him, but he's been making a name for himself. And not only are these guys both in the same play pool, they're actually out of the same conference. Now that I'm looking at it, the Karag, Dron, Krushers actually won the conference, the Fun Conference, Fumble Underground Nation, with 5 wins and 2 ties. So they were undefeated this season. And Bernie's Rats squeaked in there with a 4-3 record, rather, 4 wins, 3 losses, and we are where we are. Could we be seeing an upset?
I think if any team is going to beat the Dwarves, it would be Bernie's team. He had, in the regular season, he had a chance to draw and a chance to win the match, but double ones on the goal line stopped him from it. So it was close in the regular season, so I think it'll be a really good one this time.
Awesome. All right, and just to take a quick look at the teams, actually, while let's see here, and I'm not even sure who's home yet, but we'll figure that. I don't know if you know, but in the meantime, let's take a quick look at the Karag Dron Krushers, and that's that dwarf team, 1730 TV. Their motto is "Crush your enemies, see them driven before you." And taking a look at the squad, they got a runner who's pretty special. He's a level 5 runner. I mean, nothing crazy as far as stats go. These are all things that I think are in his normal tree, or ability tree. So 2 runners, and one of them's a leader, and just your typical tackle and guard and healthy smattering of mighty blow running through there. One of those blitzers is a movement 6 guy as well, and an agility 4 guy. So could we even be seeing a passing game out of these guys? I don't know. They're living light on the rerolls, so one of the leaders is going to provide that 3rd reroll. 10 fan factor. And their home is called the Thunder Fist Halls, which is a level 2 stadium. I'm not sure if they'll be playing there. Let's take a look at these rats real quick. Ref Justice right here.
Figure out their game just is starting. They're setting up defense right now.
Okay, cool. So I'll flash to the field. So I'll do this really quick for everybody. So Bernie is notorious for having mixed it up with the refs, especially in the Champion Cup series. And this rat team is looking very agile. That Storm Vermin right there, Cheese Stilton, can do a lot of damage with that Claw and Mighty Blow. And we got the strong Gutter Runner over there. We got some stat ups over here. A Strength 4 lineman as well, named Dirty Pete. And Tidal Wave, another Strength 3 Gutter Runner. So, yeah, Bernie's team's looking pretty dangerous here. A lot of speed. And it's just going to come down to, are the Dwarves going to destroy these rats? Or are the rats just going to run circles around the Dwarves?
Well, Bernie fired his rat ogre right before this game started.
Yeah,
and
big move.
It looks like he bought a wizard with it.
Ooh, okay, so trading in the Roger for a wizard. Let's see if that's going to pay off. That's a bold move over here. And
he still has a bench of 2 as well, so even getting rid of the Roger, he still has a bench as well. So
that's why he felt comfortable doing that. And advanced rat coaches will say that, the Roger's great in the beginning to try to, cause some damage when your storm vermin still aren't powerful. But at the point where you level them up to where they're coming with the claw and the mighty blow, those are the guys you really want to be blitzing with and doing the big damage with anyway. Not the roger. And the roger, to move him often and reliably, you got to keep blitzing with him. And so that's why people are saying, hey, pitch the rat ogre once you develop the storm vermin. You don't need him. So bold move, also savvy move from Bernie, and let's see if it pays off. Will he upset our former champ here and conference leader? And
I think it's gonna be a good game. It's a bad matchup for Bernie. He's been saying it all week. Dwarves against rats.
You know, it's one of those that I think it's going to be dominant one way, and
Nope.
you know, like it's either the rats are just going to really completely outpace these dwarves, or there's going to be, you know, the rats are all going to get knocked off the pitch. And right when the game starts, the rat fans are really out. They came out in droves to support their team. The fans stormed the field. There's a big dust cloud, dirt cloud, and by the time the refs separate everybody, we've got 3 dwarves laying down on the pitch. And only one rat.
For the rats. Yeah, they needed that.
And by the way, we are at the Dwarf Stadium, so surprising that the Rat fans are out here in full force like that, even though it's the Dwarf Stadium. They are everywhere. They infested the stadium. And looks like the short kick. Dwarves are able to take advantage of it, move up behind that little line, and we are going to see an opening block. This is a risky maneuver. I mean, there is a basically the runner here, Soul Burner, or whatever his name is going to. I'm in trouble seeing that. Soul Burner, Soil Burner, Soft Burner.
Sid Soil Burner.
Sid Soil Burner, that's his name. Decides to head for the mass of dwarven bodies that are in front of him. The problem is 2 of them are laying down stunned. And against most teams, this would be enough, right? Because he's using even the bodies down. They're like an obstacle. But there's a bunch of rats. The rats are really fast. And if anybody can get around that corner and get a unimpeded shot at the ball carrier, it would be rats. So
yes.
This is a risky move.
And he's not knocking down the rats either right now. So
yeah. And now he's taken the guard dwarf who was standing in front of his ball carrier and moving him over to the right. It looks like that whole left flank, and I'm looking at it from the angle. Of course, the camera's here looking at it from the offense angle. Oh, there's our first knockout. Harry Warthog is KO'd. It's Blood Bowl Thursday, in the words of the real Harry Warthog. And Blood Bowl Thursday starts off with Harry Warthog getting knocked out. That's what I wasn't looking at.
Yeah, there was one there to stop that from happening.
Yeah, Warbleed, is that his name? Raish Warbleed comes over and protects that left flank. Okay, solid positioning by Midway here. Closes it up with the other runner, McWrath. And how will the rats respond? Bernie has grouped all the rats in a very protective formation. You see them all back.
I'm really interested to see how he's going to play this game. If he's going to do his normal, very not safe moves, or if he's going to play it safe and sit back. But I guess we'll find out now.
I'm thinking what Bernie's probably going to do is he realizes he's not, for the most part, going to win the war of attrition. Against if he just goes full on and goes rat crazy. So you can't throw just a tidal wave of rats at these dwarves. They'll tear them apart. So I think what you'll probably see is that guerrilla warfare where he'll keep striking with that storm vermin, with the claw mighty blow, come in and try to pick off, wait for that one dwarf that's kind of out there by himself and try to pick him off where he can. And I think the first victim could be Grizzlebeard.
It's not his way of playing, though. I mean, it's never been Bernie to sit back and I plays too aggressive with his rats, and I stand by it. I think he does, but
You think he's
It
gonna
seems to
go
be
go
very
ham on these
effective for
guys
him.
and start marking them up?
I think we'll see. I think so. I mean, he's only got 30 seconds, so he's got to start soon.
I don't know if he's thinking or if he's having trouble with the connection.
I hope it's not trouble with the connection. Oh, look at
Oh, there
that
you go. Okay, he's
blitz.
moving.
Blitz and leap. Oh,
Oh, this is ballsy. Is he gonna go in for the red die? He's going in for the red die. Leaped in the cage, and that's Tornado.
oh,
Oh, it
and he
was going to
gets
be unsuccessful and come up skull. And will he pay for it? Now that poor gutter runner is surrounded by a bunch of angry dwarves who are going to get up, and are we going to get a stomp on that rat?
I would. I totally would. Tornado is one of his best rats. I would get rid of it.
Big
Agi
threat.
5 with leap.
Hmm. Yeah, he's out there unprotected, and there's even a tackle piece. There's a lineman in reserve on that sideline. So,
Yep.
um, so
I
Delmer
know
Bright.
Midway had like 120,000 in cash. I don't know if he spent anything on inducements. I did not see that, but
He said a wizard. I think that's what he got,
well,
right?
Bernie got
Oh,
a
Midway.
wizard, but
Midway.
yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
He may have bought something, a bribe or something, just
No,
to make that more likely.
Bernie said no inducements for Midway.
Okay.
Yeah, he just got the wizard. That was what the telegram I got before the game.
Well, you'll notice that there's only one Slayer on Midway's side. Last game in the quarterfinals, his Slayer got killed. His other Slayer, Strength 4 Slayer, got killed. So he's running down with only one.
Oh, Gifted Covey gets injured. And Bernie likes to name his players after coaches that he admires or has a fondness for. And so you see Gifted Covey's going to go down, get hurt. That's what line rats do, though. They get hurt.
That's
So
there for, but
I can see the Karag Dron Crushers. I missed that match, but the Crushers versus Prague #5 team must have been a bloodbath. I mean, they handily won 3-0, but and to beat that Prague team is sick. They were hurting a lot of people in the pros, and actually the only reason that they ended up down in the CL this season is because the coach Quirt wasn't able to make registration in time, so he actually had to take a challenge league spot. But he didn't get relegated for lack of performance or anything. So from what I heard, Prague was down in the Challenge League, just making teams pay all year. So for them to get beat 3-0, this team must be special. And there's the foul that we were talking about. Tornado taken off the pitch. That's a big defensive key missing. He's lucky that was just a KO. And the ref doesn't see anything.
yeah.
Maybe it was tough to see that rat buried underneath all those dwarves. So probably easy to get that foul off without getting spotted.
Well, this is a really good start for the Dwarves. Turn 2 and 3 rats off the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really good start. Midway is a very good coach, though. Yeah, like you were saying, though, that Prague game was very, very good game, and 3-0 doesn't do it justice. It was definitely closer than that.
Oh, it was closer?
He just got, well, it was 3-0, but I mean, it felt like it was closer than a 3-0 defeat because.
Oh, it was one of those where like he pulled away at the last minute.
Yeah, he scored a
the last few
touchdown
turns.
in turn 16 when the game was pretty much over, but it was a good game.
Cool. And
And
Bernie,
at this point, I'm pretty sure Midway's already slated to be promoted. So this is a must-win for Bernie if he wants to try to get promoted. So this is a big game for him.
why do you say that? Why is it's because we have a lot of so
There's
we do
5
have
or 6 pro openings. So
okay, gotcha.
if it goes off a record, Midway was the #1 team in the CL, or besides Prague, I think they were the #2 team in the CL, or they were top 2 or 3. So they're slated to go in since they're the final 4. So.
Okay. So
But Bernie, being the #8 seed in the CL, he was the last one to make it in. He has to win. He has to win.
yeah, well, I wonder. So Prague couldn't have been up one of the top seeds because they wouldn't have played each other then. that early, right?
I, yeah.
Let's see. I could check Prague's record. Do you remember what conference Prague was in?
They were in the East. They were a top 2 or 3 team. I think it was which lost to Bernie's team, and then
You faded out a little bit.
oh, the USA Stars were number 1, and they lost to Bernie's team
Oh, there you go.
last week. And then I think Midway and Quirt with Prague were 2 and 3. So
Oh, okay. So they had that makes sense. Let's see here. I'm looking to see where wow, conservative approach by Bernie. So this isn't the rat wave that you were expecting. Yeah, so it looks like the Prague team had 5 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie. They were actually second in their conference, where the Death Knight Stalkers were 6-1-0. And what happened to the Death Knight Stalkers
they lost week 1 as well. I think they might have
in the
lost
round
to
one?
Prague or
Yeah, it looks like they lost to the Revenge of the Dwarves. Yeah, who's going to be
yeah,
playing in the other
yeah.
semifinal. That one didn't happen yet, right? Armageddon Avengers versus Revenge of the Dwarves.
I don't think it did. No, I have
There
not
are a
seen it
lot of dwarves in
unless
the
they did it
CL, right?
without announcing it. Oh God, it was. I'm so glad that a lot of them are getting promoted.
So we're gonna have a dwarf infestation going on in the pros. I'm not sure if that's gonna be good for the dwarves though. We're getting a lot of claw in the dwarf in the pros now. So that mighty blow may not cut it. The mighty blow on AB9 may not do the effect that they wanted it to have.
But there's a lot of good dwarf teams that are gonna get promoted though, so they're
Yeah.
ready with some good coaches. Yeah, I'm really surprised when we come back like this. I was not expecting it.
You keep
I
getting
think
like
he's.
a fade out, like a click, like something that interrupts what you're when you're talking. Can you hear me?
Let me check
Uh,
something real quick.
and so we got Beers 1313 in the chat that says amen to those dwarf teams going pro. He does not want them in the CL anymore. He's had enough.
Yeah, I had to play Midway earlier in the regular season, and I think 680 TV down.
Oh
Being
wow.
that much down on dwarves is not fun. I did end
Mm.
up with a draw, but
Oh wow. That's good.
I needed the win to make the playoffs, and that so it was kind of a bummer.
Uh,
But
and here comes another hit. So it looks like Bernie's not giving up a lot of hits on his rats, but dwarves seem to be making them count. That one's only a stun.
it's
And
still
Steve
an armor
Stamps.
break,
Oh, and then the pylon. And all of a
and
sudden,
he's
Steve
gone.
Stamps is KO'd. Yeah, now we got 4 rats off the pitch. And then there were 7. And it looks like, yeah, Bernie's just trying to kind of avoid major contact, except for getting that Storm Vermin involved. But Cheese Stilton unable to do the damage. All he does is manage to annoy the Dwarves and push them back. Now it's only turn 3. There are already 4 rats off the pitch, and Bernie trying to avoid full contact here.
Talking to Bernie earlier, well, I talked to him pretty much all week. Both of these coaches, I talked to both of them all week. But Bernie said that he needed Cheese Stilton to have a monster game, and it doesn't look like it started out to be like that. So
Yeah, not
I
at
think he
all.
needs to pick it up.
But that's what I mean. The Storm Vermin are the killers on the rat team. They're especially dangerous because of their movement. You could use them to come in, take a snipe at key players, and then get back behind some line rats. And that seems to be how Bernie's trying to use them. But the problem is he's not sealing the deal.
Yeah, well, him selling his Rat Ogre definitely put it all on Cheese Stilton,
Yeah.
and it doesn't seem like it's working out yet. But there's still a lot of time left.
May have really screwed himself by taking that red die block chance with Tornado so early on and having him get out of the game. I mean, now even if he uses the wizard, the player that could have leaped in or dodged in where he needed to go and got out is off the table, is off the pitch.
Yeah, and if he stays off, that's going to be a big blow for Bernie because Tornado is his star gutter runner.
And it looks like the Dwarves are starting to make a move, trying to take that right flank.
Midway is one of those coaches that'll wait until the last possible minute before he even starts moving upfield. So he's very conservative, but he makes everything count. It was really fun playing against him because he's a very good coach. So.
And you see here, Grummy Cold Steel. He's gonna run up and get up in Tidalwave's face. Start jibber jabbing a little bit, giving him a little talk right there. Uh-oh. Here comes the Troll Slayer. And he's gonna move. So it looks like they're gonna set up the cage over there.
Yep, looks like they're going to the opposite. They're trying to turn it around on the Rats, but the Rats have the speed to catch back up. So.
Sure, and I think what he's just trying to get an edge in there. It's kind of like you know, you got a boa constrictor right now. That's what these dwarves are. They're closing in slowly on their prey. They wiggle down the center. The rats kind of bunch into the center. They go a little bit left. The rats move left, and then they cut back right. And before you know it, he's wriggled a little deeper into his opponent's territory. That's all he needs. It's only turn 4, so he just needs to keep wriggling one space here, one space here, one space here until he's deep in and the rats can't stop him and he can make his final break.
I think there's absolutely zero chance Midway tries to score before turn 8. I don't think he wants to leave anything but one turn for Bernie to
right.
answer.
Who does? Who wants to give the rats a chance to one turn? Or 2 turn, rather.
I mean, a 1 turn is doable, but a 2 turn is much easier, so.
Absolutely. And here comes that, the Piler Honor. False Giant something. And here comes the boom. A big stomach flying through the air onto a rat skull. He's unable to put Tidal Wave away, though. And Bernie's a fan of stamping somebody who tries to pile on and fails to finish the deal. But there are so many dwarves around him. That's how you do it.
I think
a
it's
foul's
really
not
hard.
Going to be high percentage.
Really hard to hit a foul. Yeah.
I mean, Cheese is really going to need to step up. His team looking at him like, look, you need to do something. You need to take a couple of these guys off the pitch. Because right now the doors are running full force, and the rat numbers are quickly depleting.
I think you're going to see Grizzlebeard get hit by Cheese this turn. We will. I think that's going to be the target. Yep. There's the assist.
It's Grizzlebeard. Is his name Hodor Grizzlebeard? Hodar Grizzlebeard? I like it.
Hodar, yep.
Hodar. And Cheese unable to put him away.
Oh.
The reroll gets double skulls, and man, Cheese is having a bad day. Not only is he unable to seal the deal, but he gets knocked on his back, and he's seeing stars, and his eyes roll into the back of his head. Oh, it looks bad. It looks bad.
That's not the game you wanted from Cheese Stilton. That is not even at all.
And it is very, very plausible here that you get 2 blocks, a blitz, and a foul.
I would probably foul Cheese Stilton for sure if I had a chance. So
I'm not sure I would do it this turn. I would build the people around him so I could do it next turn. I'm not a fan of fouling people when they're already stunned, because even on a successful,
he's on the ground for 2 turns.
Yeah, well, and also because a successful, like think about this: when you foul, right? If you successfully foul, you have 50% chance of doing something better than a stun, right? Because 50% chance to stun. So if the guy's already stunned, you're putting your guy at risk for getting ejected, and you might, and even if you're successful, your guy might get ejected, and you might just leave this guy, pretty much in the same thing that he was already at. So I normally don't foul when a guy is just stunned.
Are you really worried about getting ejected right now, though? 4 rats off the pitch, 1 on the dwarf on the bench. I mean,
3 of those rats could come back. It's KOs. Yeah, so I mean, you
they
don't.
could.
And you got 2 on the bench. Yeah, I understand. I'm just not. I kind of feel like sometimes it's a wasted foul. I put these guys around this guy right now this turn, and then next turn I foul him when he's ready to get up. I don't know that you need to do it this turn, but
Reroll. They're both rerolling on trying to get those knockdowns, but both of them are failing. It's not as bad. But I think Bernie re-rolled that one almost out of frustration because she still hasn't done anything all game.
So. Yeah, I agree. He needs to start taking dwarves off the pitch, and his storm vermin is just not doing. He's not stepping up. Oh, tackle comes in big. Are we seeing the last of Earthquake for this game? Nope. He'll get up next turn.
Oh, pile on. Maybe not.
Or maybe he won't. No, he will.
Oh, nothing. These gutter runners are staying even with the pile on. It's been good for them.
Yeah, they've been pretty resilient, just taking it on the chin like that. And the dwarves just now that again now the tornado's been removed, the dwarves feel comfortable to just do this. Loose cage.
Not even a real cage. A loose cage.
Yeah.
Oh, he's fouling. Oh, wait.
Yeah, here comes the foul. So Midway's just gonna say, you know what? No time like the present. I'm gonna try to remove this this rat. And again, see the effect. It looks like no, it was a failure. He didn't even break armor. So it was the foul wasn't successful.
I think it would have been successful. It looks like if he had
one more
knocked
assist.
down the cheese grater, right?
Yep. Yeah. If he had one more assist, it would have been successful.
Yeah. My question is, when is Bernie going to use this wizard?
I don't think he's going to do it now because I just don't. I don't feel like he has the personnel to take advantage of it. And Bernie knows this is a long haul game. This isn't a regular season game where it's going to end up a 1-1 tie. If it ties, it goes to overtime, and having the wizard there is key. Also, you see even the way that the dwarves are conducting their offense, they are forced to spread out. They can't just tight cage it up with the guard pieces. So the longer he holds up, you know, he keeps that wizard in his pocket. The longer the dwarves got to do this kind of stuff, maybe opening it up for the rats. So this is one of those situations where the threat of the wizard might be even worse than the wizard itself.
Than the actual wizard, yeah, because he could just do the wizard and it could be a total failure. So
yeah, and if the wizard strikes, whatever happens, and the dwarves hold on to that ball, you're going to see this cage right here just close up, and you're not going to get any more shots of that ball carrier. And Beer's in the chat saying that he doesn't believe rats can hurt dwarves. However, that storm vermin, I know it doesn't look like it right now, but when he gets going, Stilton can cause some major damage. The question is, are they going to foul him out of the match before he ever gets to get up again?
They're gonna have to try. I mean, I would spend this whole turn trying to foul one more time because you know he's gonna start doing something. I mean, he's not gonna be useless the whole game.
If you're the dwarves, you can't let Cheese get back up again. I mean, he's been ineffective, but you're right. That could easily change.
And having jump up is very helpful with him too. So
yeah,
keep him on the ground as long as possible.
And now you're going to see the ball carrier what is it, Sid Soilburner? Sid Soilburner's going to move into position. He's only 4 meters out from the score, and they're going to construct that loose cage around him. And Beer's in the chat asking who's announcing. Yes, it's me, Serious Jest, and RandTheMad, who's doing very well. First time announcing, I got to say, it's a good time with you, man. Glad you're here.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I was excited about this match, so I figured I'd try to announce it. Because
Yeah, and it's it's definitely great having I can run with this color commentary, but you're definitely the expert when it comes to the CL. You lived it. You know these teams better than I do, so it's great to have somebody who has the inside knowledge be able to come in and tell us what's what. So would you say that Bernie has played defense very differently from how you've observed him playing earlier in the year?
Yes, he's not playing. Well, I mean that first move with uh, whatever that gutter runner's name is, Typhoon,
Right.
Tornado, was
Tornado.
very Bernie-esque, a very aggressive move. But since then, since that failure, I think he's dialed it back. He's playing more the Skaven, take your time, slow it down approach.
Four rats off the pitch will do that to
Yeah, for sure.
you. Before he
And
sober you up, like, I need to have guys left for offense. So, by the way, yeah, it looks like you're getting some fans up in the chat. People saying you're doing a good job here, Rand. Some compliments flying. Thank you, Beers. Thank you, Camo Critter. And in the chat also, Mercy Flush, a MML favorite from the PC crowd, who jumps in. He's part of our Discord chat. Definitely yucks it up with us MML guys on a regular basis, and we can't wait for him to get a PS4 and get this game for PS4, so we can start announcing some of Mercy's games.
yeah, that'll be great. Did you just notice that double skulls that just happened again?
Yeah,
Second
yeah,
time this half?
yeah. Nuffle is,
Poor
is not
Bernie.
being friendly to the rats right now.
Oh,
Camo says I sound like Joe Rogan. That's a compliment. I like Joe Rogan a lot, especially when he announces UFC matches. Here we go.
are we gonna see Cheese Stilton try something? Is he finally gonna do something this turn?
All right, so we're gonna see. Oh, it looks like yes. Now Bernie's saying, you know what? Let's make our play. I'm marking people up, trying to get it in, and Cheese does nothing again.
He's just playing patty cake with the dwarves.
Cheese is playing like Fromunda Cheese, just not getting it done. And that little dwarf fire team over here is just untouched. Their uniforms aren't even dirty. They sent out a little death squad to take care of these rats over there, and they're just chilling. Over there playing bid whist and drinking Bloodweiser. And Typhoon says, you know what, Cheese? If you ain't gonna do it, I'm not gonna get up and hit somebody. And it looks like Typhoon started something. Now the rats are getting in on it. You know what? Dirty Pete wants a little something too. Dirty Pete's gonna get involved and knock down Emerald Battleforge. I feel like Dirty Pete is like a creeper.
He's such a creeper.
He's a big creeper. He stalks his ex-girlfriend in his spare time.
He's strong with wrestle. I mean, he's got all the moves to be creepy.
Yuck. He trolls.
Bernie's gonna have to start breaking some armor if he wants a chance here.
Yeah, I mean, it all starts with Cheese though, and Cheese is not getting it done, man.
I don't think he's had one knockdown yet. Has Cheese?
Awful.
I think it's all been pushes or skulls.
Awful match. I mean, he's having performance anxiety or something, man. He's not getting.
He's on the
done.
big stage. He's never been here before. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Beers says that he's looking like melted cheese, and Mercy says he's still tipping the rats to win, though. And hey, I mean, Bernie's a great coach, and it's very, very possible that the rats are turn this around and tie it up. But I'll tell you what, I'm a firm believer that this match is going to start, or is going to first team on the board are going to be the dwarves. There is going to be a dwarf score, whether the rats like it or not.
I don't think there's any chance that they stop him unless he tries a turn 7 wizard.
Oh! Are we witnessing the exit of Cheese Stilton? And no, yeah, you got to bring the apothecary out for this. And the apothecary resuscitates him, snaps back whatever was out of place, because he was looking in a bad way.
Let's hope that turns Stilton back into the game. It turns him back on. He just got knocked out, so.
And the hits keep coming, And there's a pylon, a fat hairy belly, and it just doesn't. The pylons are not doing the job.
They're not doing anything. They haven't done anything once this whole match. But that being said, there's still 5 rats out now.
Yeah, those are just from the regular punches, but they also I think they're scaring the rats too. Those pylons are kind of they're keeping Bernie worried about not engaging too much. And it looks like the rats are going to strike back. And Dirty Pete says, you know what? Knocking dwarves down is fun. Now the question is, can the rest of his team follow up with Cheese gone? I mean, at least Cheese had the threat of causing some damage. But is the rest of the team just going to rally without him and say, screw it, we'll do it ourselves. We don't need Cheese. Earthquakes.
There's pretty much no way they're going to break the armor. I just don't see it. I don't
Never
see it.
know. I've seen stranger things. Which, by the way, is also a good Netflix show, Stranger Things.
It is. Very good.
And what is Granddad Stu going to do? He's going to dodge away? Or is he going to lay there?
He's probably just going to stay on the pitch. I mean, he's a line rat, not really worth fouling.
Although I got to say, wrestle has to be one of those skills that's pretty annoying to dwarves.
Bernie hasn't had a chance to foul once this game, though. He's been down rats pretty much since turn 1. So
yeah, no, you got to get him. You got to get him on the ground first in order to foul him. And the only dwarves that are ending up on the ground not the only, but for the most part, the dwarves that are on the ground are just for piling on.
Yeah, most of them, yes.
I mean, it might have been great though, like this little situation here. I've been isolated. They could knock Grinmar, Cold Steel down, and then everybody crowd around Falco, Giant Bane, and gang foul the hell out of them. But yeah, getting over there is a pain. You're about to see a score anyway. In the next turn. And
I think he's debating on the wizard.
I think right now would be just.
I don't think you should.
Right, and you don't have to worry about these guys that are laying on the ground getting fouled because honestly, it's turn 8, so Midway's not going to risk that. And all in all, I'll say this started really badly for the Rats attrition-wise, but Bernie seems to have salvaged, for the most part, his personnel. Right? I mean, at worst, if none of the knockouts get up, he's going to go back into the second half, down 2, right? But I mean, probably with 2 shots, they're going to get 2 shots to get up. So I mean, you're probably looking at least 2 of them getting up. That's what I'm thinking. It's safe to say. You never know. But
yeah, I mean, even if one comes back, I mean, Rats being down, 1 or 2 is not really, it's normal for Rats, right? So
yeah, exactly.
They're used to that. I think the only way Bernie's going to have a chance for this game is if Cheese Stilton picks it up in the next half.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just depends how you play it. If Bernie's goal is to bash and outbash these dwarves, like in terms of like with Cheese, and just start picking them off with the claw, then yeah, he's gonna need Cheese to really step up. But honestly, if you forget the bashing, you forget the hitting, and you just focus on your speed and positioning, you could grind out a score, tie it up, and go into OT and hope you get the ball. There's that pylon, it works, and now we've got, I guess we spoke too soon, because now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rats knocked out, a lot of bells over there, and a red cross.
So Bernie did not get a babe then at all. He just got the wizard. That was it.
Yes, that is correct. And there's the score. Sid Soilburner is gonna score. Hold up a beer and chug. He's earned it. This blood's for you. And yes, shout out to Lou in the chat, who who was missed the pro game earlier, the pro semifinal. An amazing match, very classic. I mean, it's a legendary match, Lou. You seriously missed when people are gonna be talking about that for seasons. Oh, only one of the knocked out 4 rats ends up getting up, but he'll get another shot at it after getting to attempt the one-turner. But yeah, so
He
Lou
doesn't have
missed
enough
that.
rats to try the one-timer.
They do. I think they do, right?
I think they do.
However, because this is a Midway is a good coach, man, because this looks like he's going to be setting up to effectively prevent this one-turner. It does help that their gutter runner right there, this guy Typhoon, has sidestep, which makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, sidestep makes the one-timer way easier, but
But still, the dwarves are stacking up so that whoever it is that's going to be blitzing in is going to have a hard time hitting one of those guys on the line into the rest of them. And if you're watching this and you're not that sure um, about one-turners and how to execute them, basically the strategy is you take one of these guys on the line, you get a blitzer to come in, hit him from the side, push him into your guys, so then you guys can start chain pushing him down, freeing him up. And with a movement 9 gutter runner, all you need is 2 pushes. Now he's got sidestep, which means that when you push him in, all you got to do is get like a chain push with one of these guys into the crowd, and you can send your guy the way you want, which makes it a lot easier. But this is a good one-turn defense. You're seeing these dwarves getting in, so you can't get a good angle.
I like this defense that Midway's putting up, though. It's very solid against the one-turner.
A lot of the people, a lot of coaches will take their guys and kind of make a line back here across the 4 meter mark. So whoever, even if you get the 2 pushes, you're giving up the 2 pushes, but you're like, you know what, you're gonna have to make 3 dodges coming through, and it's gonna be tough. I don't think you can do it. Plus, your go for it's. But some coaches choose to do this, which means it's like, I'm not gonna give you the chain push to begin with. So let's see if Bernie can find his way around it. Now, Bernie's done his studying. I know I talked to Bernie before the match. Bernie has studied basically the defenses that Midway puts on. He knows that chances are he's seen this before, and he's done his he's definitely studied his one-turner scenarios. So I'm sure he has seen this before, and he probably has a plan on how to beat it. It may not work,
Yeah,
but he'll
Bernie
have a
said he
plan.
watched a lot of old video, a lot of old tape of Midway, so.
I mean, the bottom line is I think you're gonna have to dodge somebody in here, like right here. And
Yeah,
then
I'm pretty
shoot
sure
backwards.
he's got to dodge one at least. He's going to try this. He might not try it. He might just try to get a couple down and do a foul. But, nope, he's definitely going to try.
It's interesting.
No, it doesn't.
Now, what'll be really, really interesting is if, look, so he's taking that sidestep gutter runner and putting him in the backfield. So you know what? Now I'm starting to think he's not going to go for it.
Yep, I think he's going to try to take a dwarf out.
What'll be really interesting though is if there is a if this gets if there's a riot and it gets extended by a turn, then the dwarves are all pushed up, and they could, the rats could just go around them and seal them off and get downfield.
It looks like Bernie's set up just for that, just in case there's a riot.
And instead, the fans are just really happy. Everybody's drinking their Bloodweiser, they're cheering, and re-rolls for everyone. It's not going to do anybody any good except Bernie. Maybe part of the reason Bernie chose not to go for the one-turner was he was thinking, I don't have any re-rolls. So that's what the first block would have looked like, which would have been bad. He would have got to re-roll it, though. And Bernie just wants the hits at this point, which I'm not sure is going to be that effective on 89, but we'll see.
We do have Chief Stilton back, though, so let's see if he can do something before the end of the half.
True.
It looks like Midway only had to reroll once that entire half, so he had some pretty good dice. It looks like. So.
Yeah. Now we're having a debate by everybody who they're rooting for in the MML Pro Finals. Will it be Sacerdotalis' High Elves, the Princess of Ariok, or will it be the Pilcower Power Hour, the Chaos Team, run by the as he describes himself, the drunken coach yelling at mutants? And Race Warbleed is injured. That's a big deal. So it looks like Bernie may have made the right choice. The question is, will the apple come out? That's a blitzer with guard and mighty blow. And Midway's just going to eat that one. He said, you know what? I got enough other mighty blow and guard pieces. We like him. He's useful, but he's not necessary.
It looks like getting injured and having that apple take care of him did get a fire under his feet, because that was a great hit for Chief Stilton.
Yeah, he finally decides to produce. So maybe getting knocked out was good for him.
Not going to do much because they do have a sub, but it's the start.
I mean, it's a sub, but you're subbing in a movement 4 player without mighty blow. You just took a mighty blow guard piece off of the pitch, so that's a big deal. Now, if he could just replicate that 6 more times, the Rats will be looking real good. And now it looks like Bernie's just going to farm a little SPP here. Tidal Wave going to run back, and Typhoon is going to run up, grab that ball, get his little throwing arm ready. The big question is, are we going to see the return of Tornado after the half? Little ball thrown there. And everybody get ready for the t-shirt gun, because here comes halftime. But not before this message brought to you by the boot. Typhoon's boot. And it doesn't do, or actually that was Serious Jest's boots. Oh, look at that rap. A lineman, a measly lineman called Serious Jest. I should be offended. But in any case, he's got a mean streak in him, so I like it. The kid's got moxie.
Except for that foul didn't do anything. So.
No, yeah.
No Tornado back.
Oh, that's tough.
Earthquake and Tornado are both knocked out still. We got a line rat back.
Ugh. Nuffle does not smile on the Rats. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only 10 Rats here for the second half, but there are 11 Dwarves. Yeah, so Midway's going to have to back some guys up.
I mean, he shouldn't be too scared. There's only 2 gutter runners and no thrower, so the Rats are going to have to.
Yeah, the issue though is if you can't let them get around you and screen you off.
True.
Resner weighs in and says, 10 Rats, his cup overfloweth. Yeah, 10 is a lot. You can definitely score with 10 Rats.
I don't think Midway was happy with the amount of injuries he got in the first half, for sure.
I mean, it's not bad. He's got 3 people off the pitch. He's got 3 players off the pitch. Maybe, I mean, you could argue, well, they're not 3 injuries, but, the bottom line is for most of the second half, or unless Bernie scores quick, that's what you're going to be looking at. It's
if Bernie scores quick, which, I mean, I don't know how he's going to stall. I mean, he's going to score his fastball. He does have a wizard for defense again, still.
True.
So.
Yeah, and as Rez just said, too, in the chat, it goes back, as we've been saying, Cheese really needs to come up big. He got the party started a little bit. Maybe he caught his little first scent of blood there, and he likes what he drew there, and he's got a little taste for it now. Maybe now he can start cutting through that dwarf armor, slicing it up like cheese. I mean,
if you think about it, it was his first knockdown, his first POW of the entire game, and it turned into an injury, so that's not terrible.
Yeah,
he's 100% on his knockdowns. So.
Yeah. He's like, I don't
Chase, it
always
is
knock
just
dwarves
a
down, but
badly
when I
hurt.
do. What'd you
The
say?
dwarf is just badly hurt.
Yeah, it's just a badly hurt. Still, I mean, for Bernie's purposes, what does he care, right? He doesn't care that
No,
if the dwarf.
Chase was asking in the chat what the injury
Oh,
on the dwarf was.
yeah, Chase, aka the MML's ghoul, will come around and be like, hey, I heard there was an injury. Yeah, how was it? Was it sweet? I've got a puppy in my van. You want to come help me get it? That's Chase.
No, I think he's really interested because he thinks Midway is going to be in his conference next season. So
Gotcha. Camo Creator weighing in saying, hey, maybe the Barry Bonds cut was a bad move. Maybe they could have used a Roger.
and I told him I thought it was a bad move. I think having the Roger, I like Rogers. I mean, a lot of people don't, especially with the developed Skaven, but I love them. I've always liked them. So I don't know, but we'll see if the Wizard ends up, changing the outcome of the game. Maybe it won't be such a bad
Yeah,
move.
it'll really depend on, and that's the thing. Wizards are such wild cards. They can make or break the game for you. And again, because Bernie is such an amazing coach, his team is going to see an extra reroll. The Dwarves, though, got the sick punter, man. This guy's like the MML version of the Giants punter. That's a great punt, or a great kick rather.
That
And
was a very good kick.
Luliz checking in. It was, I mean, this is how you can tell this guy is dedicated to Blood Bowl. He's on date night, and he waited while his lady was in the shower, and Lou threw on the shirt, the famous shirt, and started watching this game. And now that he's been watching an exciting first half of rats getting split open all over the pitch, Lou is now ready and in the mood for when his lady gets out of the shower. She's gonna be like, Lou, keep the shirt
That
on.
that shirt that shirt is amazing.
It's awesome. Oh, so
So
Dirty
good.
Pete comes in and unable to cause any injury or even knock the other side down, but he uses that rat jujitsu to bring down the dwarf.
I don't know if Bernie has any confidence in Cheese Hilton. He's not blitzing him. He's sending him back.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, Cheese is running backwards, keeping him away from the dwarves. But that's the guy you really need to get started. It's a good thing though that if those dice would have been the same for Cheese, then
yeah.
that probably wouldn't have ended up the way that he wanted it anyway on that dwarf. But and he's gonna run back, get the ball. There's no funny business, and you're gonna see tidal wave set up, and we've got an offense going. Let's see what the rats can do with it. And in the meantime, the little up front shield up there of rats led by Serious Jest coming in and knocking down Hodar Grizzlebeard.
Sounds like you're a little biased towards that rat.
What?
Sir.
I think you're just imagining things. What makes you say that? And
No idea. I wouldn't know. I was just guessing.
what are the rest of these rats gonna do? Ooh, Beers, you were so cool until you said Eagles fan. That's all right though. We can bond over our hate for the Cowboys. The
Everybody can bond over the hate for the Cowboys, right?
And here comes the foul. This is
Here's
what
the
Bernie likes to
foul.
do it. And Steve
And
Stamp
he's
sent
sent
off.
off. Oh,
Eagle Eye
nothing.
ref tonight, man. The refs have been active, calling people out. Even after they were paid off in the pro semifinal game, all they used was that the ref just used the bag of gold to stand on and get a better vantage point. And this one's trying to earn some extra money by calling people out. He's like, you're not going to bribe me. I'm going to call you out.
If you'll remember, it seems like Midway may have bribed the ref because Midway did a foul and got a KO and did not get called off.
Ah.
Bernie got the foul, didn't do anything, and got called off. So it looks like Midway's been talking to the refs.
We never know what goes on behind closed doors. And uh-oh, who is that? What rat is that? What does that say? 13? Is this the rat named 13? Well,
Oh,
13
there's a
is gonna get
pylon.
another unsuccessful pylon. The pylon's just not working in this game. I think these dwarves need to drink more Bloodweiser. Those guts aren't big enough.
Or the rats are just, are taking drugs before the game.
It could
Who
be. I don't know.
knows?
By the way, did you? I know you were thinking about getting a little something to sip on for this match. Did you manage to come up on anything before the match started?
I'm drinking a mead.
Are you? Oh yeah. You were telling me about that. So you've been doing a podcast with Preach, huh? Like for the Mordheim.
Mordheim.
Okay,
Yep.
nice, good stuff. Yeah,
Well,
I heard good things. And so
it was my first one last week. Was my first time trying mead, and so now I'm kind of hooked. It's really good. So
I
I've been
still
drinking
never
mead.
tried mead. I have a bunch of empty promises from Preach, who keeps telling me, "Oh, it's great. You got to try it." I'm like, "Great, send me some. I will. Give me your address." And I sent him my address like 3 times, and he's like, "Yeah, cool. I'll get that right out to you, bro." It never came in. So
You don't have any mead where you're from?
no, I don't think so. The best I don't know. The closest thing I have is moonshine that they sell at the liquor store.
It's not mead unless it's made out of honey, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never tasted it. Again, Preach keeps promising me, but it never comes in the mail.
It's so good. It's really good.
Well, I definitely want to try it. Hint,
We've been
Preach.
reviewing we've been reviewing the meads on the Mordheim podcast. So
Oh, nice. Good stuff. So, well, I decided to. I was actually inspired by that last match. It was so good. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start sipping on a little something for this match. So I went out to my local liquor store, and this guy really takes pride in the different kinds of beers that he's able to come up. So right now I'm drinking New Holland Brewing's Dragon's Milk. It's a bourbon barrel aged stout. It's pretty damn good.
that
11%
sounds
alcohol,
amazing.
and it doesn't even taste like. I could drink like a bunch of these and probably get really smashed and not even realize. And talking about smashed, there's a failed rat dodge. How he tripped on those stubby dwarf legs, I'll never know. But
Who knows,
it's
man?
pretty clear that the rats are going to take this strategy here of sitting back. They're not trying to score. They're going to try to tie this up 1-1 and hope for a good result in overtime, instead of trying to score quick and relying on the wizard to free up the ball and go.
Well, I think they're going to rely on the Wizard either way. I think if they lose the toss in overtime, they're going to need the Wizard to get the ball back. So.
True. How will the dwarves play this? I think RoboWell's asking, yeah, Bernie stalling, going for a 1-1, and then Wiz for OT. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that's the strategy. At least that's what it looks like. Unless, what he's trying to do is bait those dwarves to come in on him. I
don't see it happening. I think Midway's going to sit back. He's content with the game, how it's going right now. I think he's going to wait for.
Yeah, I agree. I think Bernie is trying to lure him in or stall, not make his last push until the very end. But Midway's not going to bite. And but also I think Bernie's like, I'm not going to rush it. I'm not going to score fast and then give the dwarves, like 5 turns to trundle down the field on me and steamroll me like they just did in the first half. I think it was very discouraging to see how his rats responded to that offense in the first half. He's not going to give him, he's not going to hang his rats out there to dry. Here's the downside, though.
There's another foul.
You got 5 of your best rats in your own backfield, right? And you left these 4 other rats. You split your forces. You left them at midfield. I guess the plan was eventually to draw them back too and meet up with the rest of the crew. But that's how that conversation was between the rats. Hey, you guys get back there. Protect the ball. We'll be right there. And they never made it back. They just got caught up. And these rats are basically being held prisoner at midfield.
And I don't know if I agree with this strategy. I think she still needs to be blitzing and attacking every turn right now. I mean, That's my personal opinion on that situation. But I think that Claw Mighty Blow needs to be doing more work than just sitting back doing nothing for multiple turns.
I can agree with that. I think that before he can kind of get involved, though, I think you're going to need to free up these linemen. Because, and almost like he heard us, Cheese says, no, screw that, I'm going to back up. Cheese gives us the middle finger. He's sticking his middle finger up at the booth. Cheese.
What is I'm having flashbacks of Bernie's regular season game against Midway, where he had a chance to tie it at the end of the game and roll double ones on the GFI. So I don't know if Bernie waits the entire half, but I think he's going to definitely kill some turns.
Oh,
and
that is just the worst red die. Take your pick. Would you like a skull or would you like a skull? And he's going to re-roll it into something brilliant. And Dirty Pete getting dirty. And he's going to be showing Dolmar Brighthelm the ground. And now the question is, do you get out of Dodge and meet back up with the troops? Yep. Dirty Pete is going to slink his way back toward his... Yeah, and that's the thing. Now, if you can get these line rats away and reunite them with the rest of the forces, well, so much for that plan. But that's the problem.
This turn.
Yeah. Line rats are not gutter runners, and so that, breaking contact doesn't come as easy to them. And I have a feeling Dirty Pete is going to get a knuckle sandwich and probably a face full of hairy dwarf belly again.
Probably definitely a pile-on for sure coming his way right now. Just real quick to answer Beer's question, I'm going to be playing Nurgle next season.
Oh, nice. And also, Beer mentioned he doesn't like the PA beer. Funny story, Beer. So I do a podcast that I've been doing since before the MML. It's called Live from the Man Cave, where we like review beers and stuff. But we review beers as well as like entertainment and all that stuff. But anyway, my co-host on one of the shows, he was telling me he basically took some of that Yards beer that they sell in Philly. It's Yards beer is all right. It's not, it's not anything great normally. But he took Yards beer and he tried to ferment it on purpose. Like he put it in his basement, underneath the stairs, and just let it sit there for like a year or something like that. And it tasted awesome. I tasted it with him on the show. And it was actually amazing. It was like Yards beer. He made it into this like craft tasting beer. It was really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm from Montana, so every 4 miles we have a brewery.
Yeah, nice.
Local craft beer everywhere we go, so I don't have a lot of beer that people drink normally, but it's all local Montana beer that I love. But now I'm into mead, so
there's so much good beer in the United States. I think Robo Will says fermented makes most things good. There's listen, a while back it was one day where I was bored and I wanted to listen to a podcast, and it was like I want to say it was NPR or somebody had some. They did a whole podcast on the process of fermenting things, with food and things like that, which was just I didn't realize people did that, but there's a whole science to it. Anyway, that's about all I retained out of that hour-long podcast I listened to. I don't remember the specifics of, but I was whoa, sounds cool. I couldn't tell you how to do it, but.
Well,
and now we're gonna see Brad start to try to establish a screen, and I think they figured out. You know what? We've dicked around long enough. We've waited for our brothers over here who have bravely engaged with these monster dwarfs and have paid for it. And now we're going to try to establish a little screen going on over here. And Cheese says enough is enough. But he attacks the blodger. And Crom is only going to be annoyed by Cheese's hit. Just Cheese fails to get the job done once again. But he does duck behind the cover of his line rat friends. The problem is that those two guys that are blocking for him, actually it's not even a line rat, it's his fellow storm vermin, Cheese Grater, who has to be pretty annoyed that he's left to catch the aftermath of that. But these guys are both marked up. So there's a good chance that on the next turn, both of them get hit, knocked out of the way, and then Cheese gets a full frontal assault and another belly in the face. And I think you're going to see Tidal Wave just sit back there with Granddad Stu. He does not really need to move. He's kind of, if the dwarves bite on him too much at the next turn, if Typhoon survives this assault and he gets the ball, he could easily jet downfield. But no, these two dwarves are still back as safeties. So, is that a movement? That's a movement 6 blitzer, yeah. So he can. This is smart. This is
Cover
good
the whole
defensive
field,
play.
too.
Yeah.
And he's also got tackle too, so it's not a guarantee when he marks up a gutter runner that it's getting away. So.
Ooh, yet another failed dodge. The bad dice are flowing.
These rats have not dodged. I don't think they've dodged once. The ones that are not, gutter runners, anyways.
This is awful. This is an awful performance by the rats. And like you were saying, Bernie doesn't really play rats like a normal rat coach. He likes to get a little more bashy. And that's because, Bernie's, I think he's openly said he took this rat team because he thought it'd be fun and different, but he doesn't really see himself as a rat coach necessarily, and doesn't know that if he got the go-ahead to get into the pros, that he would want to do it with a rat team. He wasn't sure about that. A loss like under these kind of circumstances, I think would only serve to solidify that he doesn't want to stick with rats.
He did tell me if he won, he would have to try to give them one season, in the pros.
Right.
But yeah, he's not a Skaven coach. He doesn't fancy himself, a good Skaven coach, or even liking the rat. Ooh, double skulls into
And that's big.
That's really big. No injury, no armor roll for Typhoon. But yeah, he actually also has a Nurgle team that he wants to take into the CL next season if this team doesn't make the pros. So he's more of the control type game, and it's hard to play control with rats.
Right. And another soul-crushing hit, this time on Serious Jest, who takes it on the chin and will get up next turn. But you know who won't get up next turn? It's Harry Warthog, who is seeing stars. This is just like
taking a nap.
This is a methodical beating is what this match is.
It seems to be the same way all of Midway's games have gone this season. He plays slow. He just, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and he just grinds you down. And I think a lot of it has to do with taking away all of your confidence. Like he just.
Oh, another overhead,
and
number 13 is not a lucky number today, and he's going to go underground to that final resting place where Skaven go when they are crushed.
Ouch. Good thing it was only a line rat. Bernie's probably not too upset about that.
Beer says no, not number 13. And you're going to see Lou's. And Lou is back. And Lou is taking off the shirt and is waving it in the air like a helicopter over his head. And he's saying, "He's dead, Jim! Dad!" And Lou's woman is yelling at him, "Come back to bed, honey. Calm down." And Lou's saying, "Put back on that witch elf costume I gave you."
Lou's doing his best Harry Warthog impersonation.
There you go. It's Blood Bowl Thursday! All right. How is Bernie going to deal with this?
What did he? Yeah, he stalled, but now he's in his corner.
So he's just like still
Oh,
just
still.
hoping Cheese will make a difference.
There we
And
go.
Cheese cuts through some
And there's
armor, knocks out
knockout.
a dwarf. And could this be the first light at the end of the tunnel? We're in a dark, dark tunnel right now. But it's looking like there may be, off in the distance, a little break out to sunshine. Could that be the flash in the pan? The spark that gets the fire started? And you still got poor Tidal Wave just still sitting back there, trying to figure out what to do. Looking to Coach Bernie, who's just putting out his hand saying, hold up, stay calm, we got this. 4 turns is plenty of time for Skaven to score. And I think what he was thinking of doing before was putting Typhoon out like within, in scoring range, but he may have to pull him back and regroup, and that's what he's going to do. Now the issue though is he's still within hitting range, so he'll probably be the object of the dwarf affection on the next turn if he stays there. So he's going to move him back and reset. Probably the smart move to regroup, but this is probably going to be the last time the Rats get to move this offense backwards. I mean, even for Rats, you're only going to have 3 turns after this. That means you got 2 turns to get somebody in scoring range. Looks like they're reversing the field. And 1 die block coming from Cheese Grater does nothing. And now he's looking at Crom like, you know how this is playing, right? Please don't hit me. Still, the dwarves have to respect the Rats' ability now to shoot up the other side and reverse that field on them. Create a little screen. And they are. They're going to move back, try to center the D. Excuse me. Beer made me sleepy. I'm going to have to get a refill. You still there, Rand? I feel like I haven't heard from you in like 5
Oh,
minutes.
well, here I am talking with my mute on.
Oh, you're wondering why I'm not responding to anything. You're like, right, serious? And I'm
I
like,
was.
yeah.
I was like, you're just talking over me whenever I won't talk.
It's like I just thought you were, I don't know, went to use the bathroom or something. I'll tell you what,
No,
though.
I'm just thinking
How
that
about we double down and we get a monologue from you while I go and get another beer?
have fun. I
All
will
right.
sit here and eat some chips.
All right.
Rez, the movement blitzer was, oh, there's an injury. Serious Jest is injured while getting a beer. Imagine that. Look at that. Those rolls. 3 sixes in a row, man. Anyways, that movement blitzer was on the ground because of the wrestle that was done on the turn that was happening, Rez.
All right. I'm back.
I just want to let you know you got injured while you were getting a beer.
Ah. And we lost Gifted Covey to start. We saw Steve Stamp get ejected. 13 got killed and Serious Jest. Was he badly hurt or was it worse?
Just badly hurt, nothing
Oh.
serious.
Just. And I am back with a different beer. I made my own sixer from this liquor store. Now I'm doing a faux pas. I'm following up an 11% beer with a 5% beer. This beer, however, I like this beer. I've had it before. It's by Wells. I don't. I'm wondering if Wells is actually a British distributor or maker. But no, yeah, this is a product of the UK. So if you're watching this in the East, you may be familiar with Wells beer. It's a sticky toffee pudding ale. That sounds very British. Do you like some sticky toffee pudding ale? I'm like, why, yes, I would, governor. And it's 5% alcohol, but it tastes good. But definitely going from an 11% to a 5% sounds like it feels like you're drinking water. So the rats are now running out of time. I mean, they really, really start
They
to.
have to grow up.
Yeah, and it looks like Cheese actually creates a little wedge there on the side. How long that'll last, I'm not sure, but he needs to pretty much pull all the forces over there and screen.
I mean, there's still two dwarves in the background with, you know, movement
Yeah,
6 on both of them, so there's not really getting away from them right now either. So
yeah. I mean, I think what you are about to see is pretty much Title on the next play, just getting downfield and trying to give himself, like trying to survive a hit. And if he doesn't get knocked down with the hit, then end zone. If he does, I don't know. Put enough of these gutter runners downfield, though, they become a real problem to stop.
oh, I think Bernie's going to send both of them downfield for sure. I think that sidestep one, I would almost rather have that have the ball, but that's just me. But
Yeah, so he's smart here. He was thinking about
uh,
taking Typhoon and hanging him back to screen off, because you do have to screen off. You got to protect this guy's backside. You got to protect Tidal Wave's backside. But the problem is you're going to need Typhoon to be that scoring threat as well in case something happens to Tidal Wave when he breaks downfield. And now, can Dirty Pete get back there? Uh, I don't like this screen. I mean, Harry Warthog should have been here, because there's a you can put a hit on the ball carrier right now. Okay, I see what he's
I
doing.
mean, dwarves aren't really known for their dodging.
Yeah, no, but now I see what he's
So
doing. So he's marking him up. Okay,
yeah,
and then he just stands up, Dirty Pete, and now you can't get a one die on the ball carrier. But I'm thinking like Harry should have put. You're watching my screen. Harry should be one more in here, because right now, if a dwarf got free, he could have just jumped right in here and got the one die block. Maybe two die, even if you can mark up these guys on the outside. But there is the cage is open here. You can't leave this diagonal. If you read 1,000 Losses, very good book. Just Google 1,000 Losses Blood Bowl. It'll teach you like positioning and stuff. They talk about this little diagonal screen right here, which doesn't do a lot because somebody can just jump right in here. You got to create, like, always think you need a corner.
well,
Right.
that would have been a red die on a strength 3 gutter runner because there's not any dwarves in the vicinity to even add an assist or
Right, right. Strength
mark
three.
up one of the rats. So it's strength 3, so I think it would have been a red die block. So I think either way, even if he does dodge away, Bernie's not too worried about it.
Yeah. Well, now that he's marked up the other two.
But even if one of them was to dodge away and get in there, I really don't think Bernie's worried about it because it would be a 2 red die uphill right now because
Yeah,
of the
yeah. No, I'm
assist.
saying like, or initially he didn't have them both marked up, so I thought they were going to be two free. Chase. I don't know if Chase is being sarcastic or not, but I mean Chase would
I'm
never.
gonna look it up. I would definitely read it. I didn't know there was a book on it
Yeah, it's called
like that. So
1,000 Losses, written by a guy who said, hey, I got really good at Blood Bowl by losing 1,000 times. And I just kept learning from my losses. But that's one of like initially that's all he talks about is like positioning, how to like set up a cage properly on defense. You know how to set up your defensive formations. But one of the things he talked about, I mean, you could put like you could take this guy right here. If you're watching my screen, I'm gonna do like the John Madden. If you take this guy, you put him right. You take Harry Warhog, you move him right here. What you'd have is like a soft little screen going, which is a lot harder to penetrate than this little diagonal opener right there.
You sounded so much like Madden right there. Oh,
and what
Lord.
you're gonna do is you're gonna have so he's gonna knock Typhoon down, and here's the thing though, it's only turn 14. What that beer says, 1,000 losses, loses. Sounds like since I can't play the ball and just try for the hit all the time. And Chase says he's at like 3 to 500 losses. And the wrestle kicks in. Granddad Stu being a pain in the dwarf butt. And how will
What will Bernie do? Is he gonna hit the wizard this turn to try to get free?
Yeah, I mean that's a possibility.
I think he's debating it. But yeah, anyways, I've been doing a lot of research on the new races coming in to Blood Bowl, and
Khemri
everything
and
I've read
Chaos
about.
Dwarfs.
Yep. Everything I read about Khemri says that if you want to get better at the game, that's the team you should be playing. So it will help
So
with positioning.
Chase is calling for Fireball.
Yeah, I would Fireball all three. I mean, I use Fireball more than I use Lightning Bolt. People say not to use Fireball, but I'm aggressive with my Wizard, and I think Fireball hitting 3, having a chance to knock down 3 would be.
I like it. It's just here's the thing, right? If you don't knock down one of these two, you kind of screwed yourself. Whereas a Lightning Bolt here, you knock this guy like right. You take this guy out here. Here's the axe, and that opens up for Typhoon to jump out, shoot down the sideline. He creates a scoring problem. Then you put Tidal Wave downfield. You can only blitz one of them, so that means the other guy's got the chance for some gutter runner BS. I think you may have to pull that wizard out now. I know Bernie doesn't want to use him, but if you don't, and he decides not to. Oh, that's tough.
I think he's going to blitz there.
With cheese?
He's
going
to
blitz with the gutter runner, and this is ballsy, and it works. Tidal Wave hits airs like a Tidal Wave. Who needs a wizard when you got moves like that? Tidal Wave is going to jump downfield.
This is Bernie 100%. This is his aggressive, I'm going to use my gutter runners to the full extent of their ability.
Oh, another flashy move by Typhoon. And Typhoon right now is in scoring range, but I think you kind of you want to take this guy and put him downfield so he can do it. He can do things on his own. I'd put him even farther.
Well, he's got sidestep and he's there to screen. He's going to make it harder for the dwarves to get an assist.
I mean, shoot. Honestly, with the amount of ground Cheese Grater could cover, 1, 2. Oh, Cheese Grater's just going to do the push, trying to mark up, and now Cheese. I guess he wants to try to get Cheese Stilton down the field. Are we going to see a dodge from Cheese Stilton? Yes, we are. And if he can get 2 go for it's going, that no, I guess he doesn't need to. Yeah, he doesn't need to. So he's going to force. He's going to force. What's his name? This guy right here, Soil Burner, the guy who scored the touchdown. El Cid is kind of on his own. And he's got to make this block, a 1-die block. It's going to be tough. Especially because
he's got no tackle either.
Yeah, no tackle.
No tackle.
He's got a 1/3 chance of downing the gutter runner. However, if he gets a push, though, he could push him up against the sideline, and it could get a little harder for the Rats. And then it becomes a hard decision for Bernie. Like, do I want to rely on the dodge out and the block to separate, to get the separation the gutter runner needs, or do I want to just wizard him and assure that we're going into overtime?
Pretty sure Bernie's been playing for overtime since halftime, since the first half went pretty much exactly opposite how he wanted it to go. So
this is some YOLO stuff though that we're seeing here. This little sideline Burson, if you're midway, this has got to be pissing you off a little bit. That you played
For sure.
great defense, positioned everything where you wanted everything to be, and the Rats just used their incredible speed to just roll down the sideline on you. I said, I'm just gonna go this way, and good luck catching me. And when are we gonna see? It's just a matter of time before Sid Soilburner comes in and tries to lay a sick burn on Tidal Wave. And here it comes. No, he's just going to mark him up, so we're going to see. Whew.
I don't think he wanted to risk the one die block. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. He's going with the
Oh,
go
he's
for it.
coming around the mountain when he comes. Oh, it's a double block. And he's putting Tidal Wave down to the ground. Stuns him. That's a big, big hurt. And now I think if you're Bernie, you have to use that wizard.
You have to. There's no other way.
I mean, wait. Well, there is one way. There is one way here. You can dodge out. I mean, it just depends what your penchant for risk is, right? You take cheese, you dodge out, you pick up the ball, you one die block, pushing Soilburner out of the way, and trot your happy ass into the end zone. It could happen
with the go for it. With the go
for it, right? So you've got a 67% dodge, a 67% pickup, a 67% block, and the go for it, 83%. But you've got a reroll.
I think the best way to do it, if you're going to do it that way, I think lightning bolting Soilburner.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. Yeah.
Better than doing the blitz out.
Right. I think if you're Bernie, I know you want to hang on to that wizard for overtime, but you got to get to overtime first.
You still have 2 rerolls too, so.
Yeah. And how greedy does he want to be? He can say, "Screw that. I want my You know what? I'd do that on the dodge, actually. I mean, I might.
This is the same position Bernie was in the regular season, and he rolled those double ones. So I think he's praying to Nuffle right now.
Do you lightning bolt Sid or do you lightning bolt that guy? Okay, so now you took away your first dodge having to be there. Okay.
Which also. It almost I mean I just don't. Yeah.
There you go. Yep. The pickup successful. The one die block. Oh no!
Oh, you have to re-roll that. You have to.
You have to. Absolutely, you have to.
But then you have no re-rolls. This is he's having flashbacks. He's having flashbacks.
Successful this time. And this all comes down to Ken Cheese. Whoa! With the claw piercing the armor, and will we see overtime now? Soilburner is stunned, helpless, and he's looking in a haze as he watches the Rat trot into the end zone, and we have overtime! Ladies and gentlemen, Ref Justice tying it up. Bernie has done the unthinkable and tied this match. And will he be rewarded with 2 extra gutter runners coming back from knockouts?
That was beautiful.
Epic. What a show. What a show. The dwarf stays down. The 4 injured Rats stay down. But the 2 gutter runners get up. We have got a game, ladies and gentlemen. Blood Bowl Thursday. Trademark Harry Warthog.
Okay.
And now we're going to see the dwarves try for the one turn. No, I'm just kidding. You're not going to see that. But you might.
A dwarf one turn would be epic to watch, though, for sure.
They do exist. Smart move by Bernie to not dodge out.
That lightning bolt, I might have done the other way, but it worked out for him. So.
Right.
I almost would have rather had the dodge out than the blitz, but it worked out either way. So.
Right. I mean, either way, it's 67% that you're taking away. That was 3 67% rolls and an 83%. And Beers said, "Dairy." It was Legend. Wait for it. Dairy. Mercy Flesh says he spent all his aces on it, but he got it over the line. Yes, he did. Fighting and scrapping. Ref Justice stays alive. Cheese not doing his job as the enforcer, but something came over him and he said, I'm going to take this game, put it on my back, take that ball, charge into the end zone. And the Rats have something to celebrate for the time being. And they have their major defensive weapon back now. They don't have their wizard back anymore, but they got an Agi 5 Leaper with Wrestle.
Sorry, my son just woke up. He just had surgery today, so he's a little bit sad.
Go ahead and you can go ahead and put him on the microphone, and he can help us call the game here. Like dwarves bad.
No, he's not happy. He's in pain because he.
Oh. High five. Beer said, "Where's Bernie's high five?" Not sure what that's a reference to. Oh, because of the whole How I Met Your Mother reference. Got it. Chase saying that there's a simple way to victory here for the Rats again. He's like, basically just win the kickoff toss and do the exact same thing. Game over. Ready, break.
Especially because you've got, I mean, as long as nothing goes out this last turn, you've got all your Rats back that are coming back. So
yeah. The ball is kicked off, and let's see if the Dwarves can take their pound of flesh. There's that kick return skill. Brilliant coaching kicks in. Somebody got an extra reroll. I think it was Bernie, but I'm not sure. In any case, it doesn't matter. Oh, it does matter because they're going into overtime, so they need their rerolls. Whoever got that reroll is better off, and I think it was the Rats. Ooh, brass knuckles in effect, and Harry Warthog is knocked out.
Well, I spoke too soon.
He could come back. He could come back for overtime.
He will have a roll to come back, but as of right now, he has to roll.
Cheese Grater is knocked to the ground. And Fat Belly does nothing.
I really think without the wizard, Bernie's really hoping he wins the toss.
Yeah, you think? Absolutely. Oh, here comes the blitz. And here comes the boom. Granddad Stu, who's been a pain in the dwarf side, is removed from the pitch for the time being. Grandpa Stu drinking too much of that grandpa's cough syrup. And he's going to be laying there on the side.
Only 7 Rats on the pitch right now. If those two don't wake up, Bernie's going to be hurting.
Yeah. What a pass. Sid Soilburner showing off his arm. Yeah, showing off his arm. Man, we may be seeing Foul City here. Oh, no, we're going straight to overtime. There's the axe showboating across the middle. And I hope both coaches know, if you want to avoid the little kickoff glitch. Oh, the dwarf wakes up. Avoid the kickoff glitch. Fast forward. Hit the options button to skip through these cutscenes right here where people are waking up. Because when you don't, then there's that little kickoff glitch sometimes that no matter what you choose on the toss, the game picks it for you. Coin toss happens, and who is...
Rats get the ball.
The Rats get the ball?
Right? Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yep,
Dwarves
you're right.
Up in
Dwarves
defense
are setting
right
up
now.
for defense. Yep. There we go. Big fortunate turn of events for Bernie there, but I mean, just because he has the ball doesn't mean that this is gonna.
It's not over.
Yeah.
Midway is a good coach. He outnumbers the Rats now. It's a little bit more than it was at halftime.
I will say though that the presence of the gutter runners is. It seems we have temporarily lost Rand. Hopefully he'll rejoin. But the the presence of the gutter runners now gives them a little extra speed and ability to get down that sideline that they didn't have before, where they only had 2 gutter runners, I think, on the pitch, and we got Rand back.
Yeah, I just kind of got kicked out of the party, but I'm good
That
now.
sucks. Well, now you're back in. Um, yeah, your name is on the list, so you just tell the bouncer and he'll let you in.
Yep, they let me right back in.
And yeah, now you can see Cheese line up on the line, try to cut right through.
I think Cheese is going to have a big overtime if Bernie wants to win this. So
Yeah, is
I think
today Chinese
he
New
sees
Year?
that.
I thought it was yesterday or a little earlier. There's a bunch of fireworks around my area.
I don't know.
Chinese New Year has some of the best fireworks. I'm gonna tell you. So I live right by New York City, so like on the Hudson, like they sail boats across the Hudson River and let off these huge fireworks. It's legit.
You're basically like in the opposite end of the country as me.
What's that?
You're basically the opposite end of the country as me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was throwing some more wood on the fire.
So Mercy's asking, have there been many occasions in the MML you can think of where the defense wins the game in OT? No, I think by and large, I'm thinking, mostly whoever gets the toss wins. Oh, look at that though. Their riot kicks in, so the crowd is amped up. Just both sides it got really contentious with the Rat scoring. Rat fans got in Dwarf fans' faces. They're talking smack. They're like, take that, you fat, nasty, good for nothing, hairy sons of guns. And the Dwarf fans don't like it. They start calling them vermin. And a fight erupts, spills out onto the field. The refs pull everybody apart. And by the time they manage to get order back, turn 17 is over, and we are into turn 18.
I mean, that could only help the right?
The Rats, you're right. Because the Dwarves are not exactly a fast-moving team anyway, so giving them less time to take the ball away, get it, and get downfield. We may be seeing, if the Rats are unable to score, we may be seeing penalty kicks. And I'll just bring up BernieBuffon has made the Champion Cup playoffs every season so far. Well, seasons 1 and 2, right? Because we've had 2 seasons, and in season 1, he was the first. It's the first time I've ever seen a team a game get settled in penalty kicks, and it became famous. Which I think this is kind of like the ref justice reference, where Bernie's had some issues with the refs. He didn't like how it went to penalty kicks. He didn't realize that rule existed at the time. So yeah, if neither team scores by turn 24, there is no turn 25. We're going to penalty kicks.
Yeah, and I don't know if Midway's. I don't think he plays the champion ladder, so I don't know if he's necessarily done penalty kicks or seen penalty kicks. So
I hadn't seen it until that one match. I'd heard about it.
That might be advantage Bernie though, because I know he's seen it.
Yeah, Bernie's experienced it to where it became a joke. We call it the BBC, the BernieBuffon conundrum, where you wait until turn 25 to score. He was actually, ironically, he was playing with dwarves in that match, and he was just taking his time. We were like, why did you not put your guy in scoring range for turn 24? He was like, I really thought there was a turn 25. I thought it just kept going. And then he lost in penalty kicks. He was playing a Wood Elf team, and the tree managed to. The tree was the one that kicked the penalty kick that put him over.
The tree, wow.
He hates trees now. Yeah, Beers is asking, isn't that how it is on PC? Probably. The PC version is pretty much the same as the PS4 version. I think the slight difference is that with the connection issues, because the server's different, So, like PC, when they disconnect, they can actually reconnect to the games. Once we get disconnected to like a what we call a blue screen, then you're kind of stuck. You're not able to connect again, even though your game could still have not actually conceded yet. But if you were kicked off, your timer to reconnect could
Hey,
still be
so
running,
you
but
might
you
know
can't.
the answer. Are they ever going to fix the issue with not being able to reconnect on PS4? Or is that just a PS4 thing?
I think that they understand that it's something that we in the PS4 community would like. It's just not technically feasible in the near future. I think it
Okay,
would take
so it's a
some
little okay.
coordinating with PlayStation Network, but Sony can be. So I mean, the technology is there for us to play cross-platform play and play against PC players, but what's getting in the way is the console companies like Sony and Microsoft saying, I don't know, I don't really want to do that because blah 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 blah. And so this time Bernie has aggressively put gutter runners downfield, but it looks like he only put one. See, and to me, this is kind of a. This is my personal opinion. But if you're going to send receivers downfield, don't make it be one, because now you've put this gutter runner downfield. If you put multiple ones out there, then wow, has all the time been sucked? So the Doors are really trying to figure out how to deal with it. But like if you put multiple receivers downfield, it forces them to spread out and cover everybody, right? But you put one guy there, you run everybody over there, you knock him down, then you surround him like another three guys on him, right? He's lucky he didn't get fouled because I think the Doors just ran out of time. Unless Bernie's just saying, I'm going to sacrifice that guy and use him as decoy. But if you do that, then you need to be acting fast.
It could be bait. I mean, it really could be bait,
Mm-hmm.
though. I mean, there's three dwarves running that one gunner runner right now.
But you need to be ready to capitalize on that bait. Like whatever move Bernie's making, then it might be this. It would have to be this turn.
I don't know, but he's been playing overly patient, not the normal Bernie. So maybe he's
He's saying, you know what, screw it. See, this is what you need to do. Flood their backfield. He should have done this last turn. Flood the backfield, or maybe he needed to run that guy over there to draw everybody out to allow him to flood the
yeah. So now
backfield.
he's
Maybe that was the
got,
problem. All right.
he's got the dwarves on the line with his rats. He's got 3-on-1 gunner runner. Now he's got 2 gunner runners, and only 1 dwarf free, really. So maybe he had it all planned out.
Bernie's like a chess player, just moves in advance. Now the question is, can you cover all? Do the dwarves? Can they get bodies on all of these guys? And then if they can, once they split apart to cover all of these gutter runners, that possibly leaves it open for Cheese to start working his magic. By the way, Cheese has already reached the 51 SPP level, so after this match, Cheese will be picking up an extra skill.
Probably tackle, huh? Or
Yeah,
pylon.
I don't know. Based on what I've seen this match, maybe Cheese needs an extra set of balls because he hasn't been producing.
Oh, it's so true.
And
He hasn't done
Cheese
anything.
Grater
Well, I mean,
manages to push. Cheese Grater's an injury, a casualty inflicted away from.
leveling up as well.
Yeah, and this is kind of what.
He's
All
a
right, so Granddad Stu is now freed up, and the question is going to be, what does he do with him? With old Granddad, Granddad's probably going to come down, lend some. So he's going to mark up the. I don't know. I don't. Yeah. And Typhoon's going to try to dodge out. Unsuccessfully. Does he use a reroll? No. And that's a problem. That's what happens sometimes when you fail a dodge. And he's going to pinch his nerve and mix next game. Ah, sticky toffee pudding. Yeah, it does taste like sticky toffee pudding. I mean, I've never had sticky toffee pudding, but it tastes like it sounds. Delicious! Good job, England. This is a good beer.
Oh man, that was a bummer for Bernie on that roll.
Yeah. And now that little smorgasbord of dwarves can go mark up all of those ball carriers. This is kind of this is a tough situation, man. Because the rat numbers are just getting whittled down, whittled down, whittled down. There's no viable scoring threat at this point. Not a real one, anyway.
Well, I mean, Tidal Wave is in scoring range, and he is still a gutter runner. They're, pretty much elves, so
Yeah.
they're always, as long as they're in scoring range, they're always a threat.
Mm-hmm. Very true. And yeah, Chase pointing out, and this is what I was thinking too. He said, "Look, technically the rats don't have to score. They just got to keep the dwarves from scoring." So, we're back to our point from before, right? From Bernie's side, don't do anything too crazy, because honestly, if this has to come down to kicks, you still got a decent chance of winning on the kicks. Better than if all your guys are wrecked over here in the and better than just giving the ball up to the dwarves, letting them cage up and roll down into your end zone. Just sit back and that
Whoa,
is
that's not
bad.
good.
Tidal Wave was a scoring threat, and now he is fertilizer. Ouch. It now
That's two
becomes
gutter
a
runners
lot
now.
easier to cover the last remaining
If,
gutter
if
runner.
I'm if I'm Bernie, I'm literally just trying to get the ball away from them for kicks now. There's not really.
Yeah, this is tough, but the problem is there's still 5 turns. Ugh. So are we back to? I think we're back to relying on Cheese Stilton to cause some problems.
Well, maybe not. Well, not for another turn, anyways.
Yeah. Stunned. That was a whole red dragon, the #1 stunner. What? And here comes some fat belly trundling down the field. Falco Glit. What the hell? Glant Bane? Wonder where these names are from. So Chase thinks that he said bad dice for the revenge as well as some interesting plays lost the game for them. So he's saying Chase is already talking like this game is over, and I don't think it's that
No,
over.
he's talking about the other semifinal.
Oh,
Apparently, it was already played. The one that we were talking
oh.
about earlier. Huh?
Revenge of the Dwarves
Oh,
lost that game? Okay, so it looks like Armageddon
yeah.
Avengers is going to play the winner of this game. I think we may be seeing penalty kicks, but then again, those Dwarves look like they're starting to get their formation together. And they're about to make a play for this ball. We shall
He's
see.
right, though. The Rats just need to bravely run away.
Yeah,
They need to let the Dwarves score.
and that's the thing. I mean, you may even see um, Tornado hole himself up in a corner of the end zone and hope that he's knocked out along with the ball. And there you go. You can see
I think the
Granddad
two
Stu
rerolls.
free up the gutter runner. Could we be seeing an attempt at a 50% catch? That would be pretty damn brave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, with one of those guys gone. I mean, or he could throw the long bomb, but that's pretty crazy.
I don't really see Bernie. I don't know why Bernie would take that chance.
Right now, because I mean, he may not get another chance, and he's going to take the chance. he may not get another chance. It may be, I think he sees these dwarves are starting to knock out his rats, and he's gonna go for it. YOLO. I hope he said YOLO first. If at first you don't succeed, try again. The reroll does not help. That ball is free, and uh oh for the rats. All of a sudden, he has the dwarves' attention. I mean, that was a 4+ catches. 50% with the reroll, it should have been a 75% catch, and Nuffle said no.
I don't play.
You're starting to fade out. You're cutting out. You're cutting out. What do you say?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I don't like that play, but really the Dwarves still only have 5 turns to score, and it's back in their half of the ball pitch. So
I think what's even the bigger question here, right, is who on the Dwarves can actually pick up that ball. You do have that thrower, the Sid, who's over there. You have, there you go. The Axe can jump in there. He's got Agi 4 too. That's a problem.
Yep.
Blue Max says that the gutter's gonna go down next. A brave play from Bernie. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate that play. 50% chance with a reroll translates to a 75% chance to catch that ball.
It's Bernie's play though. It's his style. He's aggressive.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's either that or you sit back and you wait for these dwarves to tighten the noose around your neck and just, wreck you. And the thing is, they've kind of cornered Tornado, but nobody puts Baby in a corner. Tornado could just leap out of there. Ooh, and it's actually starting to look like they might be able to get a 2-die block or a 1-die block on the ball carrier. Maybe a 2-die block, because Granddad Stu. I mean, we're back to he could dodge out of there, 50% dodge to 67% dodge and put a hit on the ball carrier. Now the options are more limited. Much more limited. That actually just made his dodge out, though, with the Storm Vermin easier. Now Cheese Grater, 50% dodge, 67% dodge, back it up. Ooh. Tornado's going down.
That tackle on the Dwarves is doing some work this game.
Yeah, absolutely. A nasty overhand brass knuckle set. Tornado's injured, and he's going to lose a point of agility. This team has been... if this team had hopes to get into the pros, I mean, at what cost at this point? Even if they manage to somehow win this game, they're going to be playing on inducements.
Against Orcs, which is not going to be good, so...
So Chase JJ in the chat going out on a limb and saying that he's calling Karag wins this game. Very brave bet there. Probably get some great odds on that one. But that he also predicts that he'll trash the Avengers. What is the Armageddon Avengers? What race are they? Do you know?
Orcs.
Orcs.
So how wins this?
You're like fading in and out. You're cutting in and out again.
Oh.
Cutting in and out.
It's my Montana internet.
It's your internet? Well,
my Montana internet's just terrible. Yeah.
Is Montana internet run by somebody pedaling a bicycle?
Pretty much.
And well, here's the good news for the rats, right? The dwarves have nobody downfield. They got to get downfield, and the rats have enough mobile players that they could run and like back up. But Bernie's choosing to take hits, which is weird. I would have thought he'd just try to like establish like a loose column defense or something.
No, it's Bernie's style. He's just gonna. I mean, I think he's pretty much. Even if he wins this game, he's got to go against Orcs with 3 gutter runners out next game. So
Inducements can do wonderful things, though.
that's true. But all 3 of his gutter runners that are like all 3 of them are gone. He's got 1 gutter runner for next game set up right now.
Chase saying Bernie's definitely going Nurgle. That is not what Dirty Pete wanted. I mean, the wrestle saves him from his turn being over, but ugh, I feel like you needed to be dodging these rats. Yeah, I guess that's why he wasn't dodging the rats. I mean, they do have the speed to get back, and maybe they can slow the dwarves up. I mean, the dwarves only have, well, they got 4 turns, and that one dwarf can run. So, Ayers the Axe can get downfield.
The dwarf with the ball is definitely the one you want with the ball if you're in this position right now. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's looking very dire for the rats. Cage established. It's pretty much just a question of how do you slow these guys up.
All right, I'll be right back in like 30 seconds.
Cool. So it looks like some kind of loose cage. Right now, Bernie's kind of hoping probably that he still had that wizard. You got it, Blue. Yeah, Mercy pointing out this is pretty much a retirement match for the rats now. Because take that kind of damage and come back. This team has not only probably lost this match, but they've been gutted. But let's not forget, you still got. I mean, you got a fast gutter runner with sidestep, Blodger over on the other side of the field. You got a line rat that can make his way with 7 speed. I mean, this isn't. Chase JJ thinks Cheese is gonna go down with one last blitz. And that really could help things in a way. You gotta get Earthquake downfield, I think. Maybe you even mark up Falco. How is Bernie gonna do this? You could somehow get the rats back into position and slow down the cage, like a column defense or something. Dwarves only got 3 turns to get downfield. And that's what looks like, appears to be what Bernie's trying to do. Just put roadblocks in the way.
I'm back.
Cool.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to try to slow him down, and I guess we'll see where it goes. But...
Oh, that's not going to help. You got to use a reroll, I think, and he does. And these dodges are not falling Bernie's way. The dice are not helping. Nuffle has just said, you know what? This is happening, Bernie. Just take it. Just bite down on this leather strap and take it.
He is not. His dodges have been failing all game.
Mm-hmm. These are not the nimblest of rats. Just there's a lot of things that have just not gone in Bernie's favor. Starting with Cheese Stilton being ineffective. And are we seeing the end of the last gutter runner? No, not for now. Earthquake is gonna live to see another day. Ooh, interesting. But actually, by pushing himself toward the ball carrier, he can... Yep, there you go. He's actually causing a problem. He's managed to temporarily slow up the axe. I'm sure Midway doesn't like that. Smart move He's going to bring up an extra blocker to impede Cheese's way in toward the ball carrier.
Yeah, I did mention that, you know, all of Bernie's gutter runners were out except for one, but the one that is still there is still a pretty skilled up gutter runner. So,
And the ball carrier, for all of his great skills, doesn't have the dodge skills, so he doesn't need tackle. I mean, do you take the red die block potentially? Dwarves are only going to have 2 turns after this to get downfield. This is not looking as definite as it was before, but still pretty damn good.
they still only have 2 turns for this, and they're 100% 2 turns away from a touchdown, so still a lot that could happen.
Yeah.
But no re-rolls, and the way the Rats have been dodging, who knows how this is going to turn out.
Ugh. Another stun. That doesn't help. That does not help things. Dirty Pete can get involved now.
He can't get very involved. He doesn't got a lot of movement.
He can mark up Beltran, Black Mace. It's a lot harder to read these little player cards, like the names, with now that I'm displaying like the chat messages on the right, so it shrinks everything else. Plus, the more I drink, the tougher it gets to be able to make things out on the field.
That's where I'm at. I'm having issues reading the names right now.
This is looking inevitable, and now the people that are second guessing Bernie's pass are thinking, man, if he would have just delayed, he could be going to penalty kicks.
I don't think he wanted penalty kicks. I think he wanted to either win it or lose it.
Yeah, on his own merits. So, yeah.
You know.
And it looks like, are we going to see the end of this Troll Slayer? So Bernie doesn't use a blitz.
I think he's going to one die blitz into
the cage.
Mr. McRath, the other runner. He's going to mark up the one. Oh, that's got guard either way, so he's
she's coming with Cheese. I mean, with Old Man, what's his face?
Oh, man.
With Dirty Pete. Yeah, that's strength 4. Ooh.
Maybe he's setting up for one last desperate attempt on turn 24.
yeah. It could be. Yeah, you definitely got to dodge him out. Granddad Stu coming in to mix it up with the little whippersnappers over there. Smart. Putting a body on that other runner. The only problem is there are 3 guys here with the speed and agility to get downfield. I mean, right now Sid is in scoring range. So he could literally just hand this ball off to Sid, and Sid could go take it to the house. He's got a reroll.
With 2 GFIs.
Yeah.
I don't think it's 23.
He's not going to do it because there's no need to do that, but if he had to. Oh, you're fading out, man. You're like cutting in and out. So, can you hear me now? Now they're going to complete the cage. You know, if they're unable to bring Cheese down, this could be a problem. One side of their cage is already in contact.
Yeah, this could be hard. rough for the Dwarves if they don't get the right rolls.
Chase says there's a cage dive coming. There you go. So now they're gonna put this Storm Vermin. Cheese is gonna be in a position where he's pushed away, so he's not gonna get to blow open that side of the cage. At least not without blitzing. And now we're gonna see the cage dive.
That was not good for the Dwarves, not getting him knocked down.
Yeah, no, it's not, but it's the Dwarves are still sitting in a pretty damn good position at this point.
I bet you Bernie's wishing he had
that wizard, yeah.
Typhoon right now.
Oh yeah, Typhoon to jump in and leap.
Or Tornado, whatever one had the leap.
It was Tornado, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. I think he wants to get Cheese Grater into position to blow open the side of the cage. And then if he can mark him up with the with Earthquake, he may be... I don't know, man. This is really tough. So how do you do this?
That's going to be a 5+ into the cage, right? Without.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. 5+ into the cage with the gutter runner and then a 2-die block. So, I mean, that's like an epic. I mean, I hope he says YOLO before he does
it. Well, if you could get Cheese Grater to mark up those two front... Oh, no, he's just going straight for it.
And that is game, set, and match. Tough. It was exciting. But the Dwarves hold on, and Midway Monster, could he become the first repeat, well, not consecutively, but he's in a position to possibly become the second repeat CL champion. Wow. Let's take a look at these stats.
I think he's got a good chance.
19 armor breaks to the 3 by Ref Justice. 54% ball possession for the Krushers to the 37% of Ref Justice. It's about the same number of blocks thrown, and maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's just the Rats threw too many blocks, tried to mix it up with the Dwarves, and Cheese just did not come up.
Look at the blocks thrown and then the casualties inflicted. Yeah. I mean,
6 KOs to 1, 6 injuries to 1. Yikes. This is tough.
2 deaths. Yeah, that was just Cheese. Then the one injury was some Cheese, but that wasn't enough. He needed to have 3 or 4, I think.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, the Godfather of the MML is in the chat, and he approves. Preach Gamer says, nicely done. And yeah, so some decent running from the Dwarves and the Rats, but just, man, those armor breaks are just too much. This is how you beat Rats. This is the textbook. You just have to beat them into submission, and that's what the Dwarves did here. Did not leave.
Or you have 24 turns,
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, any last comments on your end?
Nope. I thought it was a great game. Other than that, yeah.
And we've been joined in the party by BernieBuffon. Let's do a quick post-game interview, actually. This is going to be a treat. Bernie, tough loss by the Rats. Hello? We're not getting them. Bernie, there you go.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we hear you. Sound a little low, though.
Yeah, I just changed my headphones. The ones weren't working.
So, a tough loss. I got one question for you. Did you forget to say YOLO out loud before you went for that pass in the overtime?
I never say YOLO.
You see, that's where you went wrong. Had you said YOLO, the pass would have been completed. Um, but honestly, people were second guessing it. They thought, look, play it safe, don't go for that so early. I see where you were coming from. Dwarves were starting to close in on you, and they were about to, they're whittling down your forces. It wasn't going to be long before you didn't have any receivers downfield, and you weren't even going to have that opportunity. So a 50% catch with a reroll is 75%. You figured what could go wrong, and Nuffle said no, and here we are.
Yeah, just the full game just went a complete disaster. I couldn't dodge, just everything, even the leap at the beginning, anything but skull twice, and I've got a chance and skull, and oh, it was just one of those games where I just wasn't supposed to win. I don't think whatever I did, everything just failed, and it was gutted, and that I don't regret that throw at the end, because if I didn't throw it then, the game was lost anyway, because I'd lost me the gut runners, and I thought, well, if I can just, it's a 4+, but I've got to reroll, so I thought 3 and 4 times you get it. Per usual, the luck I'd had, I did get it, because obviously if I got it, it was a 2+ dodge, and I'd have scored and won the match, and
Right.
I think that was the right call to make. I just couldn't hold it any longer. I mean, start of the second half, we'd lost both my gut runners, 2 of my star gut runners. They didn't come back, and outnumbered, outpunched. It was just a case of trying to hang in there in the second half and seeing what we can do. And we did. Obviously, I had no option but to use the wizard. The way we was dodging was just no way, and I just thought, you know what, G Stilton's probably my best player all season. I'll give him the option to try and tie it up, and he did. And then obviously, just something with me in overtime. Overtime just don't go. It took 2 out, I think, on his turn, his last turn 16, and so again I lost numbers there, and then I silly put a gut run up by himself when I should have waited. That was the only mistake. I kicked myself over, and he got into a bad position. I was just trying to get some dwarfs out of there, but yeah.
Or you mean when you sent the gutter runner up by himself in the backfield?
Yeah, another time. Yeah,
we were talking about that. I normally am not a fan of that. If you're gonna send receivers, I say you got to send at least 2, preferably more if you're gonna start doing that. But I will say, in what my co-announcer pointed out here was, but when you did that, you pulled 3 dwarves over that way, and it allowed you on the next turn to flood the backfield with 2 more receivers. So
yeah,
I mean,
that was the plan.
And it would have worked out. It would have
if
worked
it
out
wasn't
if
for those
Armorbreaks
meddling
hadn't
kids.
started coming in.
No, yeah, it would have worked out if they didn't knock all those guys out the very next round. Those brass
Like
knuckles.
the next turn, they knocked 3 rats out.
Yeah. It was like he was baiting you. Like, yeah, go ahead, send more AB7 gutter runners back here, Bernie. We'll take care of them.
Yeah, it was. Just every time I tried to dodge, it just was a fail. It was just so annoying. And then obviously I got injured. I mean, the 3+ dodge, and again he failed and got injured, and that was the end of that. And it took 3 players out of the way. Unfortunately, it was a 4+, but I thought it's the only shot I've got. I can't just stand back and after. If we're gonna go out, let's go fighting. And the stupid gut runner didn't bloody catch the bloody thing, did he? If he had done, it was a 2+ touchdown, and we'd won the game. So it was 75% chance.
I will ask you a similar question to the one I asked you after your Champion Cup playoff loss in season 2. Was it ever in your head the option of, hey, let's just hold out for penalty kicks, let's just play keep away?
To be honest,
huh?
I don't think I could. If I tried to hold on, he just swarm me.
He had 5 turns to get downfield at that point, I think. And like I said, I see why you did what you did.
At that point, the only thing you could have done is let your gutter runner get surfed into the crowd and hope they kick the ball.
Yeah, somewhere to the other side.
Yeah, but I mean, I mean, that's one thing I did think of was that, but then I remembered how I got knocked out in the MML with the crowd passing it to the Necromancer, so that soon quickly went out of my head. It was just, I don't know, it was, when you're against a great coach like obviously he is, and to me his team it was just a nightmare matchup, man, because my blood wasn't safe, piling on, mighty ball, all that sort of stuff, and obviously I'm not a Skaven player either. I don't play Skaven, so it was just crazy. How on earth we got it to overtime, I don't know. It was just patience, patience,
That was great,
patience,
by
and
the
then
way. Your rally over there at the end of the yeah, and that's you did patience, patience, patience. You really waited for your opportunity, and you said, "Hey, this is the best shot I'm gonna get." Shot up that wide zone, and you did great.
yeah, I think what it was is I was trying to manoeuvre it so he sent a few more players the other way, and then have enough so at least I had a chance of maybe a one die block to punch him out the way or something similar like that, and that's basically how it went. I didn't want to use the wizards, but there's no way I was going to risk a dodge and then
Right,
pick the ball up.
right. No, and that's what
So
we
I
were
think,
saying too. Like I was saying that in the chat. I was or in the when that time came, it's like, hey, I know you really want to keep the wizard, but you know, you got to do. You need a 67% dodge, a 67% dodge, or I mean a 67% dodge, a 67% pickup, a 67% hit, and then an 83% make into the end zone. You change one of those 67s to an 83 with the wizard, and you know you probably made it. Just you've really increased your chances with that. You know, I mean, yeah,
yeah,
keeping the wizard is great, but if you don't get to overtime period, then you're kind of stuck.
that's
And
it.
if
I mean, I think I made the right choice regarding the Rat Ogre. The Rat
oh
Ogre
yeah,
was,
that's good. So you're just seeing Camel Critter's question. Do you think the
yeah,
Rat
it
Ogre would
was,
have helped with the strength
oh,
matchup?
no, I don't know. I've had to babysit him all season. It's been a pain in the backside. I mean, he has done some good stuff, but when I played um, the Dwarfs early in the season, because he's got so much guarding, if I was trying to protect the Rat Ogre, he just guards up and just decks him and kills him anyway, or injures him anyway. I think he lasted 10-3 in the first game, and I just thought we had a better chance with Cheese Stilton. Um, and
Yeah.
you know, you've got to make a judgment call.
Although let's talk about Cheese real good. I think is it fair to say that he played disappointingly in this game? Did not do the things that you
Um,
thought he would do.
Not really. I'm not too disappointed with him, to be fair. I love
Maybe you
the
should
guy.
go
I
back and
mean,
review this tape.
no,
Watch the first half. Watch the
Yeah,
first half of the game and tell me you're not
that's the story
disappointed.
of it.
no.
Eh,
I mean, I disagree. I mean, I was on the back foot, and there's just not much I could do. I mean, as soon as I'd lost
just
tornado, it
when
was
you
a
go back at some point and watch this Twitch broadcast and watch that first half, you'll see
I
Cheese
think
still kind of let
his
you down.
first yeah, his first four blocks, he didn't get a knockdown. He didn't get one until turn 8 of the first half, really at all. You know, a few more knockdowns, a few more injuries, or even knockouts in that first half. You could have maybe got a better defense going.
Hmm.
But
The
yeah.
other thing, Bernie, is I say this over and over. Like I'm a firm believer that like Blood Bowl is one of those unforgiving games where like one minor decision that you make early in the game, like it could be like turn one, turn two, could just completely. It's like that butterfly effect. It could steamroll into like the rest of the game sucks after that, and your decision to strike so early with the cage leap of the naked gutter runner, your best defensive guy, your best player maybe on the entire team, uh, leaps into the cage alone and unafraid for a red die block. And when he fails, the dwarves do what you would expect. They all just gang foul the hell out of him, and he's gone, and you lost him for most of the match. Do you think that was a premature move?
Um, what the thing what was going through my head was, should I use my wizard and bust it?
Hmm.
That I was trying to find another way not to use my wizard, and unfortunately, for the Bab dude, he got the brunt of it. Because obviously trying to save onto your wizard, yeah, I don't know. Probably, I mean, it obviously was the wrong mistake, wasn't it? Um,
Hindsight is 2020, though, right?
yeah,
yeah, the way I thought before the game is, if I've got even a small chance of losing the ball, take it. Um, and I thought, the thing is, I've seen a few games where, you know, where people have just given up, or they've just gone, oh, you take the win and all that sort of stuff. And I've been a bit disappointed with that. And I can understand why they've done it, because obviously they're looking after the teams. But I was like, that's not going to happen to me. I'm going to just go for it. Because the thing is, as I've said to various other people, it's like, look, it'd be nice to win the thing, but there was no way I was coming back with them. I mean, I was even talking to Preach before this game about what my cap was for Nagel, because, you know, I was getting him all ready and that. So it was, I decided over the last 40 hours that whatever happened, I wasn't going to be with Skaven.
Okay, so even if you won the whole thing with ref justice, you weren't
I
going pro.
wasn't, yeah, I wasn't there. I wasn't going to do it. I just don't feel comfortable playing Skaven. I mean, the whole point about MML is to build a franchise, have some history, then make some rivalries and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
And there's a lot of good coaches like Thunder and all that coming down as well into the challenge, so I think it'd be a lot of fun. You know, I took all that into consideration. I thought, you know, people said, oh, well, it's the MML pros, you can't turn them down. But the thing is, I think most shots said it earlier, it's all about fun. It's not always about winning and being the big guy I am, or the, oh, look at me, I'm in the MML, or, you know, in the pros. It's about having fun and building history with the team. I decided, you know, I'm gonna try my best. If they get wrecked, it don't matter, because I'm not gonna play them. Try and entertain the crowd. Try, as I always do. I always try and entertain the people watching Twitch.
Well, you did. You put up a hell of a fight. I mean, this wasn't
for sure.
like, you may have been getting your ass kicked like physically, but your team was all like still in it toward the end. You know, up until the end, up until turn 20.
Even that last turn, it was still.
Yeah.
Yeah, we needed some luck, but it was a difficult dodge. But you know, the way we've been dodging it was almost impossible to hack.
Well, Bernie, it's your fault for not calling YOLO. You had to say YOLO out loud, Bernie, if you want it to work.
I know.
You do. You should have.
Say what if I
Hey,
start believing
let me
stuff
ask you a
like
question,
that.
Bernie.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. You do the 2 red die turn 1 onto the ball carrier. Why not? If you're gonna play it that way, why not wizard the cage first? Why not try to free up the ball first? That way, if you're gonna go, you know, I feel like that would have been, for me, that's a safer play personally. I don't know. Why not do that first? Why not try it first before you go into that crazy leap red die play?
Yeah, I just didn't want to use my wizard there. Like, I was trying to convince myself to use my wizard, and I thought, if I fireball this cage or lightning bolt and it fails, that's my key piece gone. That's the only thing I hold over him.
Which it did help later on in the game for sure, but you know.
I don't know.
Losing that leaper, it was tough though.
It was. But the other thing as well, he kept fouling and he never got sent off. You know, one or two of them getting sent off, and you know, I try it and I get sent off. So you know, I just think everything went against me today. That's not taking off from Midway Monster, because he played it well, as I knew he would. You know, he's a fantastic player. He's been champions in the Premier League, so.
We have by the way, we have the MML commissioner again in the chat saying YOLO is a myth, proclaiming that. Obviously, I mean, what's next, Preach? The Earth is flat. Everybody knows it's scientifically proven. We have proven it here on the field today. When you don't yell YOLO before you try some crazy rat play, you fail at the rat play. We've put it through the scientific process today by watching it happen in this game, and I think it's been settled now. If you want your crazy rat play to succeed, you must yell YOLO. I think even Bernie is a believer in this now. Even though he won't do it, he refuses to do it. He's willing to accept his fate, but he knows no YOLO, no successful crazy rat play, and that's why Bernie's not going to keep playing rats, because he just refuses to. He does not like the word YOLO. He's not a fan, and he's not going to do it.
Yeah, you don't have to yell YOLO with Nurgle.
No, you don't. In fact, you probably just yell something intelligent. I think actually with Nurgle, before you try a crazy Nurgle play, you just have to fart real loud, and then that totally works right there.
Eat some beans before you start playing Nurgle.
And Preach continues to yell. He sounds like right now he's right. He's typing things that make him like I could picture him on a corner somewhere, proclaiming that the end of the universe is coming, while wearing a tinfoil hat. I don't know what he's talking about. Everybody knows crazy rat play plus YOLO equals success. You heard it here first. You got any last questions or last comments, guys, before we cut fade to black and let Preach accept once and for all that yelling YOLO is salvation?
Yeah, I just like to say YOLO, it's a load of bollocks.
You sound crazy now, too. You sound crazy, Bernie. I know it's a tough loss. I think it's psychologically affecting you. The scientific method has shown us YOLO equals success.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, I've shot with YOLO plenty of times before and it hasn't fucking worked, so...
Was it with Skaven, though?
Shot YOLO as rats, though.
Yeah, YOLO plus Skaven, that's the magic formula. YOLO is other races, not as the other races have key. Remember, Nurgle plus fart equals success. YOLO plus rat equals success. You start mixing them like you fart as a rat, not good. Doesn't equal success. So that's you gotta. Each race has its own key. It's okay. You'll get there.
Just before we go, I just rolled a normal roll for Cheese Stilton, so I will be looking to sell him on to a rat team or where I want him. Do I go for tackle or piling on?
I said this is exactly what I said. He's going to take tackle or piling on.
I think that's such a tough decision.
It's hard.
I really like both, but I'm going to say tackle just because after watching this game, when he did score when he scored the defender stumbles, it was almost on a blodger. I think you got to make sure you get the guy down first before you worry about taking the second shot on him. And then I think maybe for the next when he hits 6, then you sweeten the pot with the pile on.
Well,
this game definitely showed tackle was more effective than pile on.
And plus, I think Cheese Stilton's stock is down, honestly, Bernie. Again, you really got to watch this. Rewatch the match. That first half will have you angry at Cheese, because we were angry at Cheese. We were like, do something, Cheese! Do something! And, the whole first match is ineffective.
I mean, he did score the only touchdown for the Skaven.
He did. It was because, he was not effective as the enforcer we wanted him to be, but he turned out to be the gutter runner you needed when your gutter runners weren't coming through. So maybe he gets recast in a gutter runner role. I don't know.
I mean, the thing is, I held him back because obviously, he made a few failures early on, but because we're so far behind, I think if this game went on Twitch, I'd have just moved all my men to a side and said, go on, have the touchdown, and we'll try and do it in the second half. Because I just Twitch, I didn't want it to be boring, so we tried and probably lost a few more players. But I mean, Cheese Stilton injured a player. So that's still good. He still injured a player.
Yeah, in the second half, he finally came around. He snapped out of it.
Yeah.
Look, he was like shell-shocked in the first half. I know what happened.
Turn 8.
You must have yelled YOLO in the second half, unconsciously, subconsciously, before he went to attack that guy in the second half. That's why he hurt.
No, the injury came in turn 8, the last turn after he came back from being knocked out.
Oh, there you go. So he got up, yelled YOLO before he really knew what was going on, and then injured somebody. Gotcha. Further proving our theory. YOLO plus rat.
I think he was more likely the dwarf went YOLO, and he just went, oh yeah, YOLO this, bang.
It's funny, but it's not scientifically right, so we're going to disregard that, and once again affirm YOLO plus rats equals total success. Ignore the crazy man in the chat putting hashtags including YOLO that don't mean
success. Can't you just ban him out of your chat?
No, I can't. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. I try to. He'll show up at my window, knock on it, and yell, YOLO sucks! YOLO sucks! And I'm like, YOLO totally works. Reference the grunts versus the scuttlebutts this year. YOLO is amazing. It makes big things happen. Thank you all for watching. This has been a wonderful broadcast. And when in doubt, YOLO!